Dogs don't say, "I'm sad" with words, but they express it in ways that are just as real, if you know how to recognize them. Sadness in dogs is often quiet, subtle, and easy to misunderstand. It doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it hides in small changes that slowly replace their usual behavior. A dog that feels emotionally low may still function. They may eat, walk, and respond. But something about them feels different. Their energy shifts, their connection weakens, and their behavior loses its warmth. In this video, we'll explore 7 clear signs that your dog may be feeling sad or emotionally down. These are not random behaviors. They are emotional signals that deserve attention. 1. They become noticeably quieter and less expressive than usual. One of the clearest signs that a dog is feeling sad is a shift in how they express themselves. A dog that once reacted to sounds, movement, or your presence may suddenly become unusually quiet. Not calm, but emotionally muted. Their reactions slow down, their enthusiasm fades, and their personality seems less visible. This change is often gradual. At first, it may seem like your dog is simply having a low-energy day, but over time, you begin to notice a pattern. They stop responding to things that once caught their attention. Their tail moves less, their posture becomes more neutral, and their overall presence feels subdued rather than relaxed. You may observe behaviors such as reduced reaction when you call their name, less engagement with sounds or activity around them, a lack of visible excitement in situations that used to matter. This quietness is not peace. It is emotional withdrawal. The dog is not fully present in the moment the way they used to be. Instead of actively participating in their environment, they begin to observe it passively. In many cases, this happens because the dog is experiencing emotional fatigue. Something in their environment, routine, or internal state has shifted. And when a dog stops showing who they are, it is rarely random. It is often their quiet way of saying, "Something does, too." They avoid interaction even when you initiate it. A dog that is feeling sad often stops responding to connection, even when it comes from you. Unlike normal independence or rest, this kind of avoidance feels different. The dog doesn't just choose to be alone. They begin to withdraw from interaction itself. You may notice that when you try to pet them, play with them, or call them over, their response is delayed, minimal, or absent. They might look at you briefly and then turn away, or stay still instead of engaging. In some cases, they may get up and quietly move to another spot. This behavior can show up in ways like ignoring invitations to play or interact, walking away when approached for affection, showing no interest in shared moments that used to matter. This isn't stubbornness or disobedience, it's emotional distance. A dog that feels low often lacks the energy or motivation to connect, even with someone they trust. Interaction starts to feel like effort instead of comfort. The important detail here is the change. If your dog used to seek or enjoy interaction and now consistently avoids it, that shift carries meaning. It suggests that something internal has changed and their emotional state is no longer aligned with their usual behavior. When a dog turns away from connection, it's not rejection. It's often a quiet sign that they're struggling to feel like themselves. 3. They show a heavy presence, slow movements, and low posture. A sad dog often carries their emotions in their body. Their movements become slower, less purposeful, and noticeably heavier. This isn't about physical tiredness alone. It's a shift in how they carry themselves throughout the day. You may notice that your dog takes longer to stand up, walks with less energy, or lowers their head more than usual. Their posture may appear slightly slouched, their tail neutral or down, and their overall movement lacks the lightness it once had. This can show up as slow, delayed responses to simple actions, moving without enthusiasm, even during routine activities, a body posture that feels low rather than relaxed. What makes this different from normal calmness is the absence of intention. A calm dog still feels present and aware. A sad dog often looks like they're going through motions without engagement, as if their energy is being held down internally. This heaviness is a physical reflection of emotional weight. The dog is not choosing to move this way. It's a natural outcome of how they feel. When a dog's body starts to mirror a low emotional state, it's often one of the most honest signals they can give. Something inside them has changed, and it's affecting how they move through their world. 4. They seek less eye contact and emotional connection. A dog that feels sad often begins to reduce one of the strongest forms of connection they have with you: eye contact. This isn't just about looking away randomly. It's a consistent shift in how they engage with you on an emotional level. Dogs use eye contact to bond, to check in, and to feel connected. When that starts to fade, it usually reflects an internal change. Your dog may still be near you, but the emotional link feels weaker. You may notice behaviors such as looking away quickly when your eyes meet, avoiding your gaze during calm or quiet moments, no longer holding eye contact the way they used to. This is not defiance or disrespect. It's emotional withdrawal. When a dog is feeling low, maintaining connection can feel like effort. Instead of engaging, they retreat inward, even if they remain physically present. The key detail is the difference from before. If your dog once looked at you with ease and now consistently avoids that connection, it signals that something has shifted emotionally. When eye contact fades, the bond isn't gone, but it may be weakening in that moment. And that's your dog's quiet way of saying, "I don't feel the same right now." 5. They sleep more, but rest less. A sad dog often spends more time lying down or appearing inactive, but this doesn't always mean they are truly resting. Instead of deep, relaxed sleep, their rest becomes fragmented, shallow, or inconsistent. You may notice that your dog lies down for long periods, yet frequently shifts positions, opens their eyes at small sounds, or gets up and settles again without fully relaxing. Even after long periods of rest, they may still seem low in energy or emotionally flat. This can appear as spending more time lying down than usual, waking easily instead of sleeping deeply, changing spots often without settling comfortably, looking tired despite resting for long periods. This pattern reflects emotional fatigue rather than physical recovery. Their body is still, but their mind is not fully at ease. Something internal is preventing them from fully letting go. Healthy rest restores energy, but when rest becomes restless, it often signals that the dog is not feeling emotionally secure or balanced. When a dog sleeps more but feels less restored, it's not just a routine change. It's often a quiet indication that something is weighing on them internally. 6. They stop initiating anything on their own. A dog that is emotionally well will naturally initiate small actions throughout the day, approaching you, starting play, exploring their environment, or simply seeking interaction. When a dog becomes sad, this initiative often disappears. Instead of acting, they begin to wait. They respond when necessary, but they no longer start anything themselves. The spark that once drove their curiosity and engagement fades, leaving behind a more passive version of their usual behavior. You may notice this through patterns like no longer bringing toys or asking to play, not approaching you unless called, reduced interest in exploring or moving around freely, waiting for direction instead of acting naturally. This isn't calmness or obedience, it's a loss of motivation. The dog is not choosing stillness because they feel balanced. They are defaulting to it because their internal drive is lowered. Initiation is a sign of emotional energy. When it disappears, it often means that the dog is not feeling mentally or emotionally stimulated enough to engage with the world. A dog that stops initiating is quietly telling you, "I don't feel like myself anymore." 7. They stay close but feel emotionally distant. One of the most confusing signs of a sad dog is when they remain physically near you, yet something about the connection feels different. They don't withdraw completely. They still sit beside you, lie in the same room, or follow you at times. But the emotional presence behind those actions feels weaker. You may notice that they are there, but not truly engaged. Their eyes don't hold the same warmth. Their reactions feel delayed, and their body remains neutral instead of responsive. It's as if they are present out of habit, not out of emotional connection. This can appear as staying near you without seeking interaction, not reacting when you speak or move, looking through moments instead of participating in them. This is not independence. It's emotional distance within physical closeness. The dog still trusts you enough to stay nearby, but they are not fully connected in the way they used to be. This kind of sadness is easy to miss because nothing seems wrong on the surface, but the feeling is different, and that difference matters. When a dog is close but not truly present, it often means they are quietly struggling inside, even if they haven't pulled away completely. Sadness in dogs is rarely loud. It doesn't always show up as obvious distress or dramatic behavior. More often, it appears in quiet changes: less energy, less connection, less expression. These shifts are easy to overlook, but they are meaningful. When a dog is feeling emotionally low, they don't need correction. They need awareness. Small adjustments in your presence, your consistency, and your attention can help restore what has faded. Dogs are incredibly responsive to emotional environments, and even subtle improvements can bring their natural behavior back. The key is not to ignore these signs or assume they will pass on their own. When you recognize them early, you give your dog the opportunity to recover emotionally before those feelings deepen. At Barkpedia, we believe that understanding emotional signals is one of the most important parts of building a real connection. Because when a dog tries to say, "I'm not okay," listening is what truly makes the difference.